Kylian Mbappé is set to leave PSG. But where should he go next? We're going to be talking about that on today's video. The news that's broken this afternoon, Mbappé not happy with PSG as the current situation is really tense. He wants to leave the club as soon as possible. Paris Saint-Germain feel he's putting real pressure on the club and have no intention to sell Mbappé in January, coming, of course, via Fabrizio Romano on Twitter. Mbappé, one of the best players in the world of football, arguably in line to replace Messi and Ronaldo as the next GOAT with Erling Braut Haaland, but it seems like a strange time to put in a bit of a transfer request after signing a new deal in the summer with PSG. There were a lot of reports linking him with a move to Real Madrid, but he did decide to stay in Paris, making himself around 80 million euros. It's a bit strange though, 2 months of Lionel Messi and Neymar taking football very, very seriously. Mbappé seems to have bent and is whining, he's crying, and he wants to leave the football institution, but we've got to talk about the statistics first and foremost. Kylian Mbappé, an absolute freak in front of goal, assists galore. But I think one of the best parts of Mbappe's career was the 2018 World Cup. Mbappé became the youngest French player ever to score at World Cup and the second teenager to score in a final. Mbappé in Liga has finished as the top scorer in 4 seasons already. He scored 145 goals in just 194 games and 61 assists as well. Directly involved in a goal every 68 minutes. But I think the biggest progression with Mbappe's career came last season in the Champions League, directly involved in 10 goals in just 8 games. But guys, where is he going to fit in around Europe? There's a few teams looking out for him. Of course, first and foremost, the most logical decision for Mbappé to make would be to live his dream and go and join Real Madrid. It's the obvious move for Mbappé. Mbappé, of course, a Real Madrid boyhood fan. They would set up 4-3-3. Carlo Ancelotti's kind of continued with this shape. Benzema through the middle as a false 9. Vinicius Jr. on the left-hand side, causing chaos, cutting in, creating, and Mbappé on the right, adding that goal-scoring threat from both wings, right and left. I think there would be interchange as well, with Mbappé moving to the right-hand side, Vinicius to the left-hand side. And of course, in the long term, as Benzema sees out his career, Rodrigo can come in, and Mbappé can go back to the middle, Rodrigo on the right, Vinicius on the left. That is an absolutely devastatingly quick front three with skills, with ability on the ball that would tear any team in European football apart. Mbappé to Real Madrid is the obvious one, but it's also a really scary one. Looking at other potential propositions in La Liga, of course, Barcelona basically pulled every single financial lever under the sun this summer to sign a whole host of players, Robert Lewandowski, re-signing Ousmane Dembele and so forth. Would Mbappé fit into this system? Of course, Xavi likes a positional game, quite strict in terms of the wingers, in terms of where they move. Could Mbappé play through the middle instead of Lewandowski? Absolutely, but Barcelona have only just signed the Polish legend. Could he play wide left, wide right? There's a lot of players in this team that can play those roles. Rafinha, Dembele, Torres, Ansu Fati. I don't think it quite makes sense for Barcelona to activate another lever and bring Mbappé to Catalan. Moving to other European teams that could be in the mix for this transfer. Of course, Bayern Munich have really taken a step forward in an attacking sense under Julian Nagelsmann, and have scored goals for fun. You think where he could fit into this system would potentially be as that striker through the middle, with Musiala playing just behind, flanked by Sane and Mane, would be absolutely devastating. But, of course, Bayern Munich probably don't have enough money to make this kind of go through, but I think it would be really exciting to see someone like Mbappé be coached by Julian Nagelsmann. I think now we've got to move to the Premier League, or the Super League, should we say, the richest league in the world right now with the most money. The Premier League has a whole host of clubs that could take Mbappé on. When you're talking about cash, the new injections to the likes of Man City and Chelsea makes very much those two guys candidates to sign Kylian Mbappé. First up, let's have a look at Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea with Graham Potter have set up in either a 4-2-3-1 or a 3-4-1-2. Again, opens Mbappé up to play in that number 9 position instead of Aubameyang. Thinking about what Chelsea have done recently with their signings, they were rumoured to be in for Cristiano Ronaldo in the summer and could be back for Ronaldo in the January transfer window, which means that they have got the cash to spend. So Mbappe, from a financial term, makes a lot of sense to go to Chelsea. Playing as their sole number 9, they've got the creativity around him. You've got the midfield balance, the wing backs. There'll be a lot of chances for Mbappe in West London to put the ball into the back of the net. And imagine Graham Potter going from Neal Maupay to Kylian Mbappe in about 6 months. His head must blow up because, of course, Graham Potter's Brighton, they created a load of chances but didn't take them. Now we're seeing Chelsea create a lot of chances, and Aubameyang's taking them at the moment, but Mbappe, clinical in front of goal. Would be quite exciting to see him play for Chelsea. Moving back to the Premier League, an obvious suggestion would be Manchester City. Having Mbappe and Haaland in the same team would absolutely break the league. Haaland reportedly is on £900,000 per week. City have got the cash to spend. They've broken that down by £375,000 up front. Then the bonuses get Haaland to the £900,000. So they've got the cash. They've got the ability to make that happen for Mbappe as well. Imagine you've got Phil Foden on one wing, Haaland through the middle, Mbappe on the other one with Kevin De Bruyne in behind. That is absolutely disgusting. Mbappe could play left, Foden could play right, Foden could play right, Mbappe could play left. That would be absolutely rotten. And City would be on a... they'd probably finally win the Champions League with those 3 guys in their forward line. But I think 2 teams make a little bit more sense than Chelsea and Manchester City. Manchester United are in one hell of a transition right now. Erik ten Hag has taken charge. United need a centre-forward. They really need a number 9. When you're looking at Ronaldo's age, Martial's injuries, there is a massive hole in the squad for someone like Kylian Mbappe to step in. And I think it's an interesting one because obviously United have got the cash. Their transfer sort of style is very kind of, not really planned, not really built out as a strategy. Someone like Mbappe makes a little bit of sense. When you're looking at what they've done recently in terms of it doesn't appear like they've kind of been out there. They've had their shortlist. They've gone down the shortlist. Feels very much like they're firing from the hip, and that exactly would be a Kylian Mbappe signing would be very similar to that. They are hip firing their way to another superstar joining the football club. From a tactical sense, of course, Erik ten Hag has played 4-2-3-1 for the majority of Man United career. He likes his wingers to get super wide. He likes his number 9 and number 10 to get involved with ball progression. A lot of rotation with the fullbacks going up inside as well. Thinking where Mbappe would fit in this team could be wide left. But as we mentioned previously, the big hole in the United squad is at number 9. And Mbappe playing with Bruno in that kind of striking position would be absolutely devastating. And United would finally have a player that's super clinical on the counter-attack, which is one of United's big strengths. They've got a lot of bodies in behind from the left-hand side and the right-hand side, but having someone have that threat from deep through the middle with the pace and finishing would be absolutely frightening under Erik ten Hag. It might be too early for United to attract someone like Kylian Mbappe in their rebuild. You think it's just right at the start of that. You compare it to maybe Arteta's Arsenal, how they progressed. I think it's almost a season too early for Manchester United to get involved with the Kylian Mbappe transfer right now. But moving on to another football club that Mbappe has previously spoke about, Liverpool. So the reports before Mbappe signed his new contract in 2022, so just before the summer, were that Mbappe was not only speaking to PSG and Real Madrid, but he was also in talks with Jurgen Klopp at Liverpool. This could be incredible. In terms of the thing that I feel is missing from Mbappe's game, his work rate. That's the one thing that's missing. From him to be a world-class goal scorer to a winner, to a Champions League winner, I think that work rate and that ability to play on the defensive side of the game is super, super important. Obviously for Liverpool, 4-3-3, 4-2-3-1. We've seen both systems this season, but I think Mbappe straight into this team would slot in on the left-hand side. You think about the intensity and the ability to move in behind Mane that Mane gave Liverpool, and Mbappe would do something very, very similar. The thing that Klopp would have to sort of drill into Mbappe is that kind of internal GPS of when to counter-press, when to press, when to squeeze the game, how to be intense. And I honestly think, you're looking at the completeness of Kylian Mbappe, arguably it would be Guardiola or it would be Klopp that could get the most out of the French international in terms of rounding off his game. We know that he can do the attack and stuff. The defensive work is something that he would really learn at Liverpool. Of course, Mohamed Salah has been the talismanic figure at Liverpool for the last, 5 seasons. As Liverpool kind of move on without Mohamed Salah, someone like Harvey Elliott and bringing his creativity to that right-hand side against left-footed would allow Mbappe to play as that inside forward and that goal-getter within the side with Darwin Núñez. I think the rest of the team will have to be moved on as well. You've got the likes of Thiago Henderson and Fabinho. There needs to be some sort of movement in that team as well. But Mbappe and Liverpool makes a lot of sense. Liverpool have got an obsession with the Champions League. Kylian Mbappe's statistics in the Champions League: 56 games played, 36 goals and 23 assists. He's been directly involved in over a goal per game. He was the youngest ever player to reach 35 goals, and he's the top PSG player in the club's history in the competition, 19th overall. Klopp, Liverpool have an obsession with the Champions League. Mbappe would, be right in a sense to join Liverpool if he wants to go and win the Champions League. But saying that, of course, Real Madrid with Carlo Ancelotti, a serial Champions League winner, that would work as well. But guys, they are my thoughts today. Mbappe wants to leave PSG. This is absolutely bonkers. What a story. Looks like Luis Campos may be leaving PSG as well. So, it doesn't seem like it's, a very happy camp at the moment. But I think if I was going to pick one team where Mbappe is going to go, it's quite simply Real Madrid. I think it's all been on the cards for a long time. But guys, if you have liked this video, smash that like button, get into the comments below where Mbappe should play next. Oh my God, it's happening.